Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my reading wrap up for October and November. So my setup is like a little bit different from how I usually set everything up, but that's because I have like this huge chair beanbag. You can't really tell, and it's in the way of where I usually put the stuff, and it's heavy, so I don't really want to pick it up. Also, I have a slight lisp, so that's fun because I have to wear my retainer because I just got my braces taken off like 2 days ago, so anyway, so if you want to see the books that I read in October and November, keep on watching. So I did read one of these books in October and one of these recently, but I'm going to talk about them now because they are part of a series, and that is the Dreamland Billionaire series. These are so good. Okay, so in October I read the fine print, and then recently, I think like a couple days ago, I finished Terms and Conditions. So I'm going to talk about the fine print first. I gave this book 5 stars because it was so good. I don't know what it is about Lauren Asher's writing. They're decently chunky books, but I'm able to devour these so quickly. Like once I get into it, I can read it within like a day or two. The Dreamland Billionaire series follows 3 brothers. The third one hasn't come out yet, but it's going to come out in January, and their grandfather has passed away, so in order for all of them to get a certain part of their inheritance, they have to complete something that their grandfather said for them to do. And for Rowan, who I think is the youngest, he has to go back to Dreamland and like create this idea, show it to the board, and for it to like be approved. And one day this girl, Zahara, I think it's Zahara, I'm really sorry if I'm butchering that, she drunkenly submits an idea of like bashing this one really well-known roller coaster, and he ends up taking that idea and working with her on that. This is definitely like grumpy sunshine, like a heavy grumpy sunshine. I love this book so much. There were like a lot of good quotes in it. This has nothing to do with like the writing, but both of these books have like when you go to a new chapter, like the thing that separates it, like the art, I love it so much. The covers are beautiful. These books are so good. I definitely want to pick up more of Lauren Asher's books, so I'm thinking of picking up the Dirty Air series at one point soon, hopefully. I'm gonna put it on like my Christmas list, so I will let you guys know when I get that. I'm super excited for it, and I'm super excited for Cal's book. So this one was a 5 out of 5. Definitely loved it. And the second book is Terms and Conditions, and this one follows Declan, who is the eldest brother, and Iris. And okay, on Goodreads I put it as a 5 out of 5, but I put like 4.99, which I know is so specific. I was about to say Pacific is so specific, but I love this book. Again, easy to read. I read it super quickly. I loved Iris in this. I prefer Rowan in the first book, but I prefer Iris in this one because she is like, sometimes she has a hard time communicating. She definitely knows her worth, and I love reading about a woman who won't necessarily be allowed to let herself be walked all over. Like, she is like a powerhouse, and I absolutely love her. This one is not necessarily grumpy sunshine. It is like a coworker romance. It's a marriage of convenience because his part of the inheritance he has to get by getting married and having an heir. So Iris sets him up with someone, but then it ends up blowing over, so she just quickly goes, it'll be me instead. So they strike up a deal and all of that, but then real feelings come into the mix, all of that, and this is definitely boy falls first, in my opinion. The only reason I didn't give it a 5 out of 5 is it was a little all over the place on flip-flopping on how they felt about each other. I don't know how to explain it, but it was just the way that Declan felt about Iris and the way Iris felt about Declan was a little too all over the place for my liking, but other than that, it was still a really good book, and I recommend you read both of these, and I'm super excited for the third book. The next 2 books it's another like series. That one book I read in October, one I read in November, so I'm just going to talk about both of them now. And that is 2 books from the Addicted series, which is the second one and the third, which is Ricochet and Addicted for Now. I love the Addicted series. Granted, again, I only read 3 books, but I'm going to read all of them. I will let you know. I gave both of these books a 4 out of 5 just because it didn't give me that 5-star feeling, but I still really love this. I definitely liked Addicted for Now more than Ricochet. I don't know why. It's like the thinnest book in the entire series, but this one took me the longest to get through, at least like mentally. I'm not going to explain the plots in case you don't want spoilers, so I do plan to make a video just about the series once I finish it. Don't know how long that's going to take, but I will make one, I promise. So these two, they're just very good. They're just continuations of Lily Calloway and Lauren Hale's love story, and then you start to get even more bits and pieces of the Lily sisters' love stories. I do have, at the very top is where I have the Addicted Calloway Sister series collection starting, so that soon will fill up that shelf. The next book I read is Hang the Moon by Alexandria Belfleur. Don't know how to say her last name, I'm so sorry. But this is the second book in, I don't know what the series name is, but there is a series of this, and I'm currently reading the third one, spoiler alert. This I gave a 4 out of 5. It was so good. For those who have not read Written in the Stars, which is about this guy right here, his sister's love story, it was so like very rom-com-y, very, I don't want to necessarily say cheesy because it wasn't like super cheesy, but I mean the guy is definitely like, that's like his whole personality. He's like such a hopeless romantic, and she is like not wanting to fall in love. I love the twist in that for those who, because usually it's like the girl who's the hopeless romantic and all that. I mean, I'm a hopeless romantic, so like I'm not hating, but it's really refreshing to see the guy be the one who's like radio booming outside of the window type love, you know, like that. And it's so cute. This follows Brendan, I almost said Brandon. Brendan and Annie. Annie is Darcy's best friend, and she's coming down to surprise her, but Darcy's not there, and so she ends up hanging out with Brendan, who is Darcy's brother. So this is also best friend's brother. He instantly like starts having a liking to her, and he wants to show her that love can exist and that love is a good thing, and that's basically the whole thing of this book. But she's leaving in a certain amount of time. Annie is bisexual in this book, for those who want to know. The next book I read is The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and oh my gosh, okay, obviously I give this 5 stars. I couldn't have not given it 5 stars. It's the Inheritance game series, guys. I cannot. This is my second favorite series of all time that I've ever read. It is so good. The way, I don't even understand how all the twists and turns of the 3 books like happened. Like, I don't understand how all of this, like, Jennifer Lynn Barnes is a god at writing, and I eat it up every time. This one, just continuation of the Hawthorne legacy. I'm not going to really talk about it because there are huge spoilers if I want to explain it, and I want to make it another video of its own for this, because I'm going to make it like a series video. So I will always be Team Grayson no matter what. Through and through, I am a Grayson girl. No hate to people who like Jameson, okay? I just don't know why, but Grayson always had a piece of my heart. I could not. The next book I read is a school book, which I'll just mention right now, and that is Alice Through the Looking Glass, or it's like Alice's Adventures in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass. It was something like that. I don't remember too much about the book, to be honest. The writing wasn't my favorite. No hate to those who love Alice in Wonderland. I think it was just, maybe it was in a school setting, so I couldn't really find too much enjoyment from it. So next I read probably one of the most anticipated reads from Book Talk and BookTube, Bookstagram, every like book place, and that is It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. For those who don't know, I don't read Colleen Hoover books anymore, or I guess I should say I don't buy Colleen Hoover books anymore, just because I've come to some realizations about myself and who I want to support and stuff like that, and it's just, Colleen Hoover just isn't someone that I'm going to reach for anymore. But I'm just going to read everything that's on my shelf already, and then probably end up giving those away. But I did read this, which is the sequel to It Ends With Us, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 because it was good. It was good. I definitely really liked it. However, I felt like there was no plot. Obviously there is, but I felt like it definitely was fan service. I think it is. I think like she did write this because people wanted to see Atlas and Lily together. What I loved about the book was Atlas's point of view and Atlas's storyline. For those who haven't read it, there's a pretty big storyline that he has to follow, and I loved reading that. If I read a book about just his storyline, even without a romance or like a side plot of romance, and it was a full book of that, I would probably have given it like 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. When it came to Lily's point of view, I didn't really care too much, which sounds really bad. And then also Ryle has like a not redeeming arc, but like I don't know. Like he's just such a bad person, and I wish there was more to that or something. I don't know how to explain it, but it was very fluffy. It was very sweet. I loved a lot of characters in Atlas's point of view in comparison to Lily's. That's just how it is. But I don't regret reading it. Again, I gave it a 4 out of 5, but it felt like I read a whole lot of nothing. Like, that sounds so mean, but it was good, but it's just, I felt like I would have preferred if it just stopped at "It Ends With Us." The next book I read is another school book, and that I read for school, and that is actually a Shakespeare play called The Twelfth Night, and oh my gosh, I loved it so much. I'm not a big fan of Shakespeare because I have some trauma back in there. I had to do a one-act play of A Midsummer Night's Dream, so I kind of was just like sick of Shakespeare by the end of it. Reading Twelfth Night, it was so good. For those who don't know, Twelfth Night is She's the Man. If you watch She's the Man, it's based off of that. So it's like this girl has a brother, they got separated, she thought he died, so she dresses up as a man, and then she falls in love with this guy, but that guy's falling in love with a different girl, but that girl ends up falling in love with the girl who's disguised as a guy. It's just a lot. It's a really fun. I think everyone should read it. It was such a good, like, script. For those who do get, like, the No Fear Shakespeare, I don't remember what it's called, but, like, the one that has the translation, because you can see, like, it's the original text and then it's modernized version of the text. So if you don't understand Shakespearean language, then you have the storyline there. So I give it a 4 out of 5. It was really good. I just realized that was the last book that I am going to talk about, because the last book that I read this month was Terms and Conditions, but I already talked about that. So, yeah, 12th Night was the last book. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little hectic, it's a little all over the place, but I really hope you enjoyed it regardless. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to comment down below what books you read this month or last month or anything, and some book recommendations and some video ideas. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye!